What's up, music fans of the internet? Welcome back to last week's album. I'm Derek.
And I'm Kevin.
And thanks for joining us. We're here talking about our favorite songs of the year in our segment called Best Songs, which are our favorite songs. We're really excited about this one. But before we go any further, we're going to start things off like we always do, drinking a beer. Cheers, Kevin. Cheers, everyone at home.
Cheers, Derek, and everyone at home.
All right, so these are in no particular order. However, Kevin and I are saving our very favorites for last, so be sure to stay tuned for that. But my first favorite song of the year is Goshen 97 by Strand of Oaks off the album Heal, and I say that emphatically because that word is in all caps. Strand of Oaks being Tim Showalter, and this was the album opener, and there were just driving guitars, a kind of soaring synth hook, pounding snare drum beat, and just the lyrics kind of had this elegiac look back at the first time he kind of recorded music, and I just thought it was really cool the way he kind of, it all came together. It was a very uplifting song, I thought. Just the melodies were great, and I found myself going back to that one pretty often. So, Kevin, what's first on your list?
Derek, first up I have it, Ain't All Flowers by Sturgill Simpson, which is a cathartic tune with this really sort of trippy, outer spacey vibe. It's kind of country, it's pretty psychedelic, which together makes for a very interesting and progressive track. I love the ending where the song sort of folds in on itself and then comes back all remixed. And I really love Sturgill's sort of independent take on country, and this song is a great example of that. So definitely check that one out. Derek, what do you have next?
Kevin, I have Light Goes Out by Ages and Ages off their album Divisionary. The one thing that really jumped out to me on here was the layered harmonized vocals throughout. It opens up with just these harmonized vocals with nothing else but hand claps. And this varied throughout the song, even as the instrumentation varied. At one point, there was just kind of this cool driving bass line, some piano chords in the background, but the harmonized vocals just really tied this one together. It was also the album opener, just really set the bar high for this album, which I'm surprised it only ended up on this list because that was a really good album.
Yeah, next up I have Dearly Departed by Shakey Graves, which actually features Esma Patterson. For me, it's the Americana song of the year. Derek mentioned hand claps in his last track, and this one has those as well. It's also got some bluesy electric guitar and these amazing back and forth female-male trade-off vocals. And it came out as a single before the album actually dropped. It got stuck in my head then. It's been stuck in my head ever since. So definitely check out Dearly Departed by Shakey Graves. Derek, what's next for you?
Kevin, I got All the Time by Bahamas off their album Bahamas Zaffy. This one, it's a real laid-back track. There's just this lumbering bass line, falsetto vocals that are just incredible vocal melody. It'll get stuck with you. And it's in all the Samsung commercials right now. You know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about, and that definitely gives it some street cred. So, good call there. Next up for me is Highball Stepper by Jack White, a guy you guys might have heard of. It was the first single off his album, and because it's instrumental, that's a pretty ballsy move. And the song, in fact, goes balls to the wall with these analog effects that create near digital sounds, but if you know about Jack White, you know he doesn't create digital sounds. You've also heard of an exercise in restraint. This is an exercise in excess. It is crazy and off the wall and tons of fun. For me, the best straight-up rock and roll track of 2014. And since it's instrumental, again, a very hard thing to do in this day and age. So check that one out. Derek, what's next on your list?
Kevin, I got Rent I Pay by Spoon off their album They Want My Soul, which you actually picked for Best Album of the Year. I thought it was alright because this was the opening track of the album there, just churning guitars, thumping drum melody. It was so good. It was hard for me to listen to the rest of the album. Like, I just want to keep going back to that one. And it made me realize the best thing about digital music is you can't wear out the rewind or repeat button.
Well played, Derek. Jack White would appreciate that. Maybe? I don't know. My next track is I Forget Where We Were by Ben Howard. Great album, by the way. Definitely check that out as well. But this song in particular mixes his sort of acoustic singer-songwriter vibe with these ambient electronics, which makes a really interesting sound overall. He's got some stream of consciousness lyrics, and this really unique, interesting vocal style that's all his own. And overall, the track is just a great example of his dynamic sound that all year long I've been struggling for a way to like describe it, and I can't think of anything else other than affecting. Like, his sound and this song will affect you in a very real way. So check that one out. Give it a listen. And now, Derek, I think it's time for your very best track of 2014. What's it going to be?
You know, I'm going with one that I've wanted to pick as a key track forever, ever since we did this album, but it is Sweet Amarillo by Old Crow Medicine Show, which I'm actually probably glad I let you describe that one, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. You know, the lyrics were written by Bob Dylan. He gave it to Old Crow after the wagon wheel, as they picked that up off some... picked up the chorus from a rare B-side, what have you. I just really dig the story behind the song. This song's fantastic, but I really like the story behind the song. I think there's a lot to that, and you know, just it demonstrates well how music is this shared experience in so many different levels. Soaring ballad, you know, talking about leaving your love and the just joy that is coming back to them. Especially when they're not out with the rodeo, which I think I can relate to. So that's why it was my favorite one. Also, I would have worn out the repeat button had it not been for digital music on this one. But enough for that. So now, Kevin, that brings us to your #1 song of the year. What is it?
All right, I'm going with another Spoon track, albeit a different one, Derek, that also made it the album of the year in my mind, and the song is Inside Out off of They Want My Soul. It's a very groovy sort of hip-hop soul jam, complete with keyboard solos that sound like a variety of orchestral instruments. They get 3 of them going towards the end, which is very fun and interesting. And I kind of called this one back when we actually reviewed it as this might be my song of the year, and yeah, you know what, it really is. So definitely check out Inside Out by Spoon.
No doubt. All right, so there you have it. There are our top 10 songs of the year. So why don't you tell us, you know, what were your favorite songs of the year, and why? But thanks again for joining us here at last week's album. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and join us again next time. We're going to continue talking about good music. So until then, cheers.
Cheers, guys. See you next time.